up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, it's too late to try to go contain it. A generation fueled by creation. We live lives on a small screen nation. We control the airwaves, no negotiation. I refuse to think we need saving. Something good will come from creation. And when we think that the world is too anxious, we'll adapt, evolve, survive, and save it. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. What keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. Hey, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh yeah, I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong.
Oh, look at me. I'm retarded. I'm a globe.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
The whole system is designed to disconnect you from your intuition. Why? Disconnected people are easy to manipulate. Everything from sunscreen to politics to the food industry. It's all designed to disconnect and manipulate you. We are in the middle of a war right now, but it's not a traditional war. It's a war on consciousness. It's a war on freedom. This is the time to listen, not to the news. No, your intuition, your gut, your heart. Love is the greatest weapon against darkness. How do you love more? You begin by loving yourself. How do you love yourself? You listen to the messages your body is telling you.
All right, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. I'm here live in my home on Earth. We had to give something Wong his time off for Christmas. As you may know, his family's restaurant is the only place that's open on Christmas in Indiana. And he has to not only work as a busboy, but he also has to sing Christmas music to people when they come in. And he's learning the fa-ra-ra-ra-ra's real well. So how is everybody doing out there tonight? How are we doing? Let's see here. We got Spitfire in the house. I put up with some bullshit. Yes, sir, I do sometimes. But you know how that goes. Old Witchy Poo used to freak me out when I was born in 65 too. Yeah. I remember HR Puffin stuff. I love that show, man. It was like one of my favorite shows when I was a little kid. And of course, I guess I'm Tommy Chong, and I'm good with that. Go ahead. That's cool. I like that. You got Mojo Shop in the house, Iron Horse, Saddle Bum, Nobody's Here, Spitfire. Lordy. Who else? Edwin Johnson, sorry. Martin Haley. We got Carol Herring, Truth Seeker. How you doing tonight, sweetheart? Up there in Canada, we're in the cold, where you can see your breath real good. That's something we're going to talk about too. Not the breath, just the cold. Okay, just a little bit of something. And we're just going to go in. We're not going to go crazy all night here. We're going to go over some stuff. And, we got Happy Kwanzaa clauses coming. I'm curious as to whether they will be tracking Santa on NORAD this year, because after all, aren't their resources, being used up with the drone. I'm going to start calling them COVID drones because just like that, the only place I'm seeing anything about these are on TV and on fucking videos and shit like that. Our Virginia State Police issued a statement or a warning or some shit like that. I haven't seen any fucking drones yet. Just like I didn't see death wagons running up and down the road picking up fucking dead people and, you know, come on. So I'm thinking that's just a thing that they're putting it out in the media. They're going to put it out, and so it's in people's heads. And then they can just play like it's actually happening. Why not? Everybody believe the other thing. What the fuck, right? So who else we got here? I got Eldon Beans here. Brad and Tasha, both or one or the other. It doesn't matter either way. We're happy to have them here. Eldon Bean with us. Baza. Who else we got here? That I Stacy Jones, Castle in the Pasture. I like that. That brought up a really cool image in my head. Thank you. Mojo, Mr. Mojo Rise. Martin Haley is with us here tonight too. And we got Renee Bernays. I haven't seen you in a little bit. Look at here. You hit that smash that like button or whatever it is you do with it. We're having a hell of a good holiday season here. I can't believe it's already Christmas. It's like, whoa, that's Christmas Eve is tomorrow. Wow, fuck. It shows you how much I pay attention to this bullshit. Especially as the time starts going by faster and faster and faster all the time. It seems like I don't know what to do. We've got Next Chapters with us here too. Let's see. Thank you, Flat Earth Cat. I like that. Flat Earth Cat. You're going to push shit off the edge. I see that meme is always, oh, if the earth was flat, cats would have already pushed stuff over the edge by now. And I'm like, Anyway, yeah, because we're a floating disc in space, right? Well, we had an interesting little interchange. I don't know how many people we got here so far. We got 95 in here, and over on the Rumble side, let me see who we got here. Nobody, I don't think. I got 20 people it shows, but I don't see anybody in the chat right now. So we'll see what happens with that. So nothing to address there, it looks like. And be sure that you are subscribed to my Rumble channel, you know, because we like to, from time to time, just go live over there from here, exclusively over there, so we can do things that we can't do over here, you know. And, you know, I get worried about, I might get copyright and can't get monetized. And I was like, well, that's stupid. They won't monetize me any fucking way. So why do I give a shit if I play a song that they don't like? Fuck them, you know. At least Rumble pays me. It might not be much, but at least they fucking pay, you know? So either way, that's how we go with this thing. Anyway, I don't know if any of you were watching or anything last night, or if maybe you tuned into Witchy Poo's Coffee Enema show this morning. I don't know if she talked about it or not, but she about lost her shit on me last night on Sombrero, on me and on Vlad from Ironwork 92,000, and it was like almost just a complete rejection of logic in lieu of the trust me bro shit, you know. And what I've been trying to say is it doesn't matter what comes out now. It's been so long since it even occurred. We didn't get this shit that we wanted at the live time. There's all kinds of excuses going on with it, and I'm like, it's just, look, it's contaminated. It means nothing. We're still in the same boat that we were then. And so what am I relegated to? Oh, okay, well, these guys say something. All right. You know, does it matter in the long run? No, not to me at all. Not to me at all. Because as I've said, and others have said, the lights in the sky do not dictate where you stand. Be interesting to know what's happening there. But if we're just going to have a bunch of people that are, you know, to begin with, not playing the game correctly, you know, I mean, I have to liken it almost like this. And this is not to disparage any single person. It's like this. Just imagine you're the fans of, or even the coach of a football team. And the next thing is that it's the last play. Clock's running out. You take your two best players and you put them in there because they know the play. You know they can get it done. They've practiced it 1,000 times, right? So you go in there, Tiger, and get them. Go in there and get them, Tiger, right? And they just totally fumble it almost to the point where it looks like, man, it almost looks like you did that fucking on purpose. Did you throw the game? I mean, that's what it starts to go by, because you're like, I can't believe that there was that level of ineptness. And there's some shit that Karen said that was like these flimsy fucking excuses, comparing her being on Lake Vladivostok or what the fuck ever over in Europe versus, oh, well, it's really, really cold down in Antarctica. Didn't we see these guys walking around with fucking no shirts on and shit? Didn't we see these guys walking around with no gloves, coats unbuttoned? They didn't seem to be too distressed from the cold. And would it get cold? I mean, if the sun's out there 24 hours, like they say, should remain within the same relative temperature, I would say. The thermometer told us one thing, but the actions of the people there, and I know I grew up in Michigan. We had lake effect weather all the time. This shit, listen, it ain't no joke. The cold will fuck. What she said about like working cameras and shit like that, I can see that. But we didn't, what? How come we can stand out with shirts off and take photographs and walk around with our coats off or our coats unbuttoned, and no gloves on and everything, but then all of a sudden it's too hard to work the fucking gear? I'm like, that just does not compute, man. Yeah, I'm sorry. There's just shit like that. And you know, I'm just going, look, and here's and do I actually know any of the people involved in it? And I've brought this up before. No, not really. Other than on here. And you know, from what I know of them on here, I have no reason to not like them. And then people say, well, then you don't trust them. Well, then guess what? I don't trust anybody. Should I have to play it again? For those that haven't seen it a million times on this show, here it is.
I'm scared, Dad.
Do you trust me, son?
Yes.
Come on, son. Rule number 1, never trust anybody.
That's as simple. It's simple, okay? I mean, people say, well, I trust you, Simon. Would you trust me to stay the weekend in your home with $20,000 cash sitting out on a table? Do you trust me that much? Ask yourself that. I can't think of hardly anybody that I trust that much. Probably only 2 people in this entire world that I would trust that much. So you have to be careful about that. And what it looked like to me was that Karen was trying to steer everybody into a, you know, the whole thing that I warned about, to take your fucking emotions and familiarities away. Take it out of it. Okay? Look at what was produced. Pretend all of them were Lisbeth that nobody has ever heard of. Pretend they were all Lisbeth. What did we get from it? Right now, what we're seeing above even the information that's come back is personality shit. Oh, no, Brenda. You're never coming on this show. That's not happening. Sorry, babe. No, you are never coming on here. You have threatened me with having my channel taken down. So that is an automatic no from me. Okay. Can't believe that thing would have the fucking audacity to try to come up into my fucking show. See, they're like Jehovah's Witnesses, man. They really are. These fucking Globers, they're like Jehovah's Witnesses. They come up on your doorstep when you're not asking for them to, and then they start pushing their fucking bullshit at you when you don't want it. Holy crap. That's terrible. What the fuck makes a psychotic individual like that act that way? I'm going to go someplace where I'm not wanted, nobody likes me, and I'm going to try to spew my bullshit in their fucking house. Really? You got a channel? Go make a fucking video. Go do a live right now. You know, and then you can get some people over there and talk about whatever the fuck it is you talk about. Right? What do we got? Some more people. Realize, says Jake. The A is using half of another's model to bastardize. You know what? There's another one. And listen, I've had it with these motherfuckers that come out and think that there's some kind of self-proclaimed goddamn leader of some shit. And I think that's what Karen was banking on last night. Oh, I'm KarenB. I don't give a motherfuck who you are. You ain't the leader of me. I don't have a fucking leader. Leaders, what the fuck I need a leader for? Get out of here. But I'm one of the biggest names in the thing. You know, that's in your head, man. Get out of your own fucking head. Okay? That's one of the biggest things I preach against on this show is goddamn perception deceptions. Quit fucking buying shit just based on your perception of who gives it to you. That's how they ran Walter Cronkite through your fucking nostrils, man. That's how they run all these motherfuckers through your... Oh, look, that guy's got a PhD. And I've seen this guy in a movie, and I like the character that he played. So therefore, I'm going... Come on, y'all. That's some bullshit. If you're going to do this, you got to look at shit from a logical standpoint. That's all. Okay? And if that's souring your fucking toast, then I don't know what to tell you, man. Put it in your pipe and smoke it, bitch. I don't care. Okay? I'm not here to please some hierarchy of fucking flat earth people and shit like that. I don't recognize any of that. I do not recognize any of it. I'm not questioning authority. I'm denying any of its goddamn existence. That's what people got to understand right off the bat. There's Crip Rick. What's up, brother? How you doing? Hope that show turned out good. We had a great time the other night. Did a show on talking about music, and we got into, I played a few songs. We went into, some of the shit about the ritualistic stuff that they do with magic and how it actually can influence and stuff. It was a great conversation, really a great conversation. Let me see here. I'm going to bring this up over here and we'll let it play for a minute. And then full tilt sub. No, it's just like, look, here's the thing, man. And this has gotten steadily worse as I get older. As time goes by, and it goes by quicker and quicker all the time. And there just starts to happen this thing. People say, well, you're cranky. No, I'm not cranky. It's like, I don't have time for the bullshit. Okay. I just don't have time for the bullshit. Okay. I'm tired of having to filter through nonsense and noise to get to the fucking meat of something, man. I'm tired of it. And I just ain't going to do it anymore. That's just all. I don't know, man. But that's how it goes with me as I'm getting, I'm just not going to put up with that fucking bullshit, And I'm sorry, I got a little mad at Lowry. I still like Lowry all right and everything, but I got a little mad at that outfit over there. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? You going to let that cunt talk to me like that and shit? And I'm not allowed to respond? Why? Because she's KarenB? Fuck her. I guarantee. How many people, man, I'll tell you what, if I'd have had gone down to that fucking fiasco shit she ran down there for this Flattoberfest this last time, I would have fucking demanded my goddamn money back. I'm sorry. That's just me. But I'm saying, man, and then Mojo, man, treated Mojo like a fucking piece of shit. And as far as I'm concerned, man, that right there, that was some low shit. Walks around like she's some kind of fucking thing or something. I don't know, man. It's only in your head, Karen. You better get that straight real quick. This is where we was at. Whoop. And Vlad was talking. Right here where Vlad was talking. Vlad made some excellent freaking points. He really did. Let's see, we got this? All right. Anyway, I'm just going to let this play and I'll stop it from time to time. Throw the game. That's where it takes people with that because I'm like, come on, man. Okay. You went. That's where that was removed.
Yeah, and also you have, this is the thing that pisses me off, is because when they say Starlink went down, I'm like, well, motherfucker, you got fucking redundancy measures, motherfucker. Figure that shit the fuck out. Like, grow the fuck up. Here's my thing, man. You go down there, please don't waste everybody and your time. You know what I'm saying? Apparently, these guys have families. I get it. And their families would probably like for them to be around during the holidays. If you're going to go down there for a fucking cause, especially that the whole world is paying attention to, do your fucking job. You have a fucking platform, right? And to me, this is a big deal because it's like you still have a responsibility to your viewers, believe it or not. And you have to do your fucking part. So don't go there with some bullshit equipment, some fucking bodega ass goddamn compass, thinking you're going to get some fucking readings. Like when you pointed that out, I was like, oh, come on, man. You don't have a fucking plan. So if goddamn Starlink goes out, be like, you know what? That's cool because we got this 24-hour fucking, I got my phone already sitting here watching it for the next, and I've got plenty of space. I got a brand new phone, plenty of space to watch the goddamn sun, to track the sun. You would have so many different points of footage that it would be overwhelming. That if you asked for it, we'd be like, oh yeah, we have this. It would be like, we have so much footage for you that you would be annoyed with how much information. It should be like that.
This is so common sense too. This is what gets me, is it's so common sense to the point where in my football team analogy, my football game analogy, right? They went in there, they go to make the play and they fuck it up. And you're like, I can't believe that you could fuck it up that bad. Are you sure you didn't throw the game? You know, I mean, that's where it takes people with that, because I'm like, come on, man. You mean you went to go to sleep and let McKeegan watch? What?
Yeah.
Come on.
So,
hey, Karen.
So wait, Sav, what I hear you saying is you would have done it differently.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Yes. I would have done what I went down there to do.
Yes. Because you know why I would have done it differently? Because I understand the gravity of what the fuck is going on. Gravity, right? Pun intended. But I understand the situation at hand. I know that everybody's going to want this information. So it's like, listen, I did the best. And even if it wasn't enough, I could honestly say I did the best I could with what I had. And say I'm saying this stuff with my phone camera and everything else like that. I could then say, hey, they wouldn't let me fucking bring a phone camera if I couldn't. But I bought a GoPro and I had this, I had that, I used it, I used all the stuff. So if you ask me a question as to why something couldn't get done, I'd be ready. I'd be like, listen, I did everything possible because I wanted to get a 24-hour sun in focus so everybody could see it. No matter how shitty the footage is, I did the best I could. If you came back at me,
Austin was on Nathan Oakley and he said, I just wanted to see for myself. And Oakley just said, well, how nice and fucking selfish of you, you know? And that did kind of blow me away. I was like, what? You know, wouldn't the whole thing was, so you just did it to see for yourself. You weren't concerned what anybody else was looking at. And and maybe he just didn't mean it that way, but you know, just to give the benefit of the doubt. But man, I'm like, what we were talking about is redundancy, right? Like backup shit. Like you got batteries in your pocket close to your body where they can stay warm. And, you know, I brought up an example with my own camcorder. If it's cold outside, I make sure that, okay, well, I don't want to use the zoom a whole lot if I don't have to, because that eats up the battery. It's already cold out here and that eats up the battery. In fact, I'm going to keep the palm of my hand over the battery compartment just so that my own body heat can kind of go against this cold with it. You know, I'm going to take every precaution that I possibly can to extend my battery life, because it takes a long time to charge this shit back up, right? And that's another thing OA says down here. It wasn't even that cold. I mean, really, what was it? Was it what the weather was telling us? Was the temperature really that? The way that they were behaving did not indicate to me that it was. And as I said, growing up in Michigan, and yes, I did have to walk to school uphill both ways. But it's fucking cold. You know, when it's down there, when it's below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, it's fucking cold. Even down 16 degrees. You know, or 40 degrees is bad. You know, you get a little bit of a wind on you. Shoo, that's all it takes. So I don't know, man. It's just so much shit just doesn't add up. And Vlad brought up some really great points. But the thing is that, you know, there's that redundancy thing. And anyway, let me let this play on because this is going to get good.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? It's like, listen, man, you have motherfuckers here that pay your fucking channel on Rumble and YouTube, right? They buy your fucking hats, your goddamn shirts and everything else. They do all this bullshit, this extra fucking bullshit. We want to see what the fuck this sun is doing. All right. Does it mean that the earth is a ball or it's, you know, no, it doesn't, right? It doesn't. We understand that part. But we're here, we're watching, we're tuned in. Do your fucking job. Okay, you could say to your fucking blue in the face, well, I don't have to do this. You're right, motherfucker. You don't have to do it, but you chose to do it. You chose to do it, and you chose to have us fucking tune in and watch your ass. Do your fucking job. Even if it doesn't fucking require you to have a fucking camera, be like, hey, I bought 10 extra cameras, goddammit. So if one goes down, the other 9 don't. So just in case somebody's going to say, hey, I need this footage or I want this footage, you'll have a multitude of different footages to give everybody. This is what blows my mind. It doesn't fucking cross. These are grown men too. It's not like he's a kid.
Vlad, beyond that, most of us said that the final experiment is a misnomer. Like, regardless of what they found, we don't exactly believe that the lights in the sky says anything about where we live. So I think the final experiment was a misnomer from the start. Hey, Karen's here. Let her chime in.
Hey, yeah. Let's can we play? Hi, Karen.
Hi.
What's up? How you doing, Karen?
What's up?
I sense a rant rumbling up your spine right now.
Well, you know
I
what?
just
Because
kind of
there's
smell
a
it.
lot- hold on. And I'm just gonna. There's a lot of things that I have not said about photography and how lenses and reflections and all of those things work. So I'm listening to you guys talk about these theories and where the light possibly is. So I'm very interested, and I feel like I am going to agree with what Karen has to say.
Sure. I'm just going to agree with Karen, what she says. Okay, there you go. That's always the best open approach.
Look, I don't have a whole bunch of insight right now because, first of all, our guys just barely got home. We have not seen but a fraction of the video and the data and the stuff that they have got.
Why not? Haven't we already seen that from the other guys? Shit, their shit's been up a week damn near now, ain't it? People have been picking it apart left and right, all over the place, looking at it, right? Huh? That's a flimsy fucking shit thing. I'm just like, come on. And then when it finally did go up last night, we was on Vlad's thing. It's like behind a paywall. I'm like, are you goddamn kidding me? Get out of here.
For me personally, the fact that our guys were not streaming so much and they were like, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. That to me speaks volumes because as someone who has actually been out somewhere in real life trying to do a test like this, because in case anybody doesn't remember, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything, but in 2018, me and Effie Core, a number of men, we all went out into Hungary on Lake Balaton, right? And we did those long distance laser measurements. Every single one of them was a globe debunker. Okay. But I just want to tell everybody that when I went to Hungary in February, which is winter, and the lake, we were expecting the lake to freeze over. I had no idea how cold it would be. No idea. And it was so cold that it hurt. Every bone in my body hurt. I'm a young person. I felt like at that time I was in very good shape. I was exercising regularly. I went to Lake Balaton and I felt like I was very ill prepared for what I walked into. I mean,
I could have told you that it's going to be really fucking cold on a frozen lake. All right. I know this. I grew up on a lake. that froze every winter, and we used it for ice fishing. Sometimes we drive. When I was just a teenager, we'd take the car out there and do donuts around and spin all over the place. It was fucking ice froze up thick. And yeah, your feet get cold. You know, an interesting thing though, if you're on ice skates, your feet don't get as cold because you're up off that ice with your blade. Just an interesting thing, but I'm sure they're not going to go there and do this with ice skates on. You could probably be able to get around a little easier, I think. But in any case, it's like, okay, listen, I've built houses in the wintertime, this time of year up through January, February, right? It's colder than fuck outside. And you're starting work at like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning, first light, right? And it's colder than a well digger's ass out there. And baby, you gotta keep taking off your gloves so that you can grab a hold of the end of your tape measure, so you can use chalk boxes, so you can put a level where something needs to go, to be able to grab a nail properly to hammer it in. You know, I mean, there's a lot of shit. So yeah, there's difficulties, but you know what? Those houses still got built. They were built on time and we got paid. So.
And I remember being there trying to look for the laser, and there was literally freezing hail and stuff like coming at my eyeballs. Okay, it was all I could do to like take my glove off long enough to push buttons on the camera and then put the glove back on so my hands weren't freezing off. I don't think anybody understands how difficult it is to operate cameras and this type of sensitive equipment, because cameras, microphones, recording devices, these are all very sensitive types of equipment. And you're
I mean, kind of like how high frequency radio equipment is in a fucking snowy mountaintop in Gießen, Germany in January. You mean like that? Yes, I have every idea of that. So how dare you say that nobody has any idea what that's like? Kiss my ass. Okay? I do have an idea what that is. And when you're dedicated to doing what you're doing, you can do it. Okay? So stop.
taking them into sub-zero temperatures. This is not easy. Your battery.
Sub-zero temperatures where it's warm enough to take your fucking shirt off? Where you don't have to button up your coat and you can walk around? And you'll get the conception you saw that during the daytime when it was daytime where you were at. And you say, yeah, but we didn't see what it was like at nighttime. Yeah, I know. Well, it was still daytime. Still wouldn't have. Why would the temperature go down any? Right? Sun's still out. So, booyah. I'm sorry. That fucking dog don't hunt.
Trees drain faster. Sometimes things just don't work right. Your connections cannot work right because you're talking about a temperature is a major coefficient of anything when you go out into the field, right? So when things freeze, they shrink. Connections may not work properly, right? Because you know the heat and the expansion and stuff like that. Like I just feel like nobody is giving anybody any sort of give for what they went and did. Well, maybe that's because everybody thinks it was fake. Well, again, why don't you guys wait until they come back with all the data and show us what they recorded and the readings they took and everything, and then maybe we can decipher that after the fact. But it's like, man, they can't even get off the plane. They can't even come back. They can't even cross the equator, and everybody's like, it's fake, they're shills, everything's fake, Well, why don't you let them bring back the data?
Wait, how would anyone have been able to say anything about anything if they hadn't seen anything yet? And we had, and it was the shit that McKeegan and Toon and the rest of those clowns had already uploaded. Am I mistaken here? I don't think I am. I'm pretty sure that that's kind of the sequence of events that took place. And that's one of the biggest issues that a lot of people are having is the fact that it wasn't uploaded. It wasn't put up. And now we're hearing and somebody said something about that they weren't getting the passwords for the Wi-Fi. It took them 8 hours to get it for them and this other nonsense. Well, that in itself contaminates the entire thing. Okay. And if they did pull some shit and do that to them, then that contaminated the entire thing. Sorry.
That's
just
what
have
I
to
don't
be
get.
patient.
Why don't you let them bring everything back?
Question, Karen, I know it was supposedly really, really cold. And like you said, batteries and electronics react badly to cold. People that have bought electronic cars have found out that the cold is greatly impacting their ability, as if people have found that the heat does as well. And that's why I would say it would probably be prudent also to be saving as much video resource and everything else as you possibly could, to not put a drain on that battery in order to be able to stream.
Right. So why should they be wasting batteries live streaming for
I know.
24
Why
hours?
would they waste batteries by having chroma key turned on? That eats up a lot of resources. Right now,
do you ever use you know what though? Do you?
She's about to ask me, do you ever use it? I'm using it right now. Do you see I changed my background? I changed my background to where I was using chroma key. I was using green screen. And then when she says it takes a lot of effort to turn that all off. And I said, really? And I just turned it off. I said, well, that was hard. That's when she got fucking mad.
You know what it means to change your batteries, your camera settings? Like for me, I felt like it was completely understandable for them to be going through everything that they went through, all the hoops they just jumped through to go to Antarctica. And he takes it and don't talk over me. And he takes his laptop down to Antarctica.
Hey, stop.
Yeah, please, come on.
How hard that was?
Stop.
Anyway, so
it's KarenB.
So they have to unpack their bag, repack their bag. They have to go through check-in. It's all special. Like everything about this trip is nothing like going to the North. And I feel like if everybody would just shut the fuck up and pay attention to what's going on, then you could take notes on all the things that are drastically different what it takes to go to the South Pole than it takes to go to the North Pole. Like nothing about what they're doing is the same as what it takes to go see the 24-hour sun in the North Pole.
What is getting on a motherfucking airplane in the South somehow more difficult than getting on one in like Canada? Is that somehow different? Is that more difficult to do that? Are we not a quarter of the way into the 21st century where we have the technology for cold weather gear and to take precautions of the cold and the climate and things like that? I believe that we are. So what in the fuck is she saying? That you don't understand the difficulties of going to the South? What, the airplanes don't work down there? Or what the fuck is what are you talking about? Why would going to where they're at be any different than going to Greenland?
And don't you guys remember that on the globe it should be the fucking same? And it isn't. It's drastically different. Like, why aren't we paying attention to these details? Who fucking cares what the sun does in the sky? Hey, guess what? Anywhere you go in the realm, the sun revolves around you. It's fucking magic. Who cares? The earth measures flat. Water is flat and level. We can see too far. So I don't understand why everybody is freaking out about the sky. Like some of us have been thinking about this for a while. Some of us started out watching the sun, like me. And I realized very early on that
like you the first motherfucker to look at the sun. Get the fuck out of here, man. Oh, I'm the first one to ever make an observation of the sun. Bitch, please.
Every single sky observation matches the globe. Every single one that I made matches the globe from 10 years ago. So I stopped doing that because it's Earth observations that show you that the Earth is flat. Nothing terrestrially tells us that the Earth is a globe. So why is everybody freaking out about this? I really don't get it.
It's not even, we understand.
What's the psyop? What's the fucking psyop?
Are you shitting me? They hadn't even come back yet, and it's all over Australian and New Zealand news. Flat Earth.
Meanwhile,
did you expect any different?
No, we didn't.
That's not.
So it's not a psyop then. You don't think that the fucking headlines and shit were meant for normies as a psyop because so many people are starting to look into flat Earth? You don't think that that was meant so that people would say, you know, yeah, I've been looking into that. Oh, well, Here are these guys, like, and they're real big flat earthers. They went down there and said they saw a 24-hour sun. Yeah, well, that's a dawdle, and then they go on, right? That's what the purpose is. Do you not understand how psyops work? I am shocked that she even asked that fucking question. I am just fucking shocked.
Psyop.
That's the psyop.
That's not a
That's part
psyop.
of it.
That's
Yes, it
that's
is.
not a
Especially
psyop.
when
It's a
it's-
setup.
especially when the
It's
media
not a
gets
psyop.
Okay,
It's a
okay.
setup.
Absolutely part of a
Okay.
psyop.
It's not a
Here
psyop.
we go. Here we go.
Y'all
Bring it
should
back-
have
bring it all
known.
back down. Bring it all
No
back
yelling.
down,
Do
guys.
we have to play a
Bring it all
really
back down.
fucked up video so that we can like chill
How
everybody
it's
out?
a psychological operation is when they produce something that is not real to make you think it is real. So do you think the 24-hour sun is not real?
I don't know. I haven't
I
seen
think
anything that would give me credible. Like I said,
So
I'm in
you
the
don't
same boat
trust-
as I was before, right?
So you don't think that Jaren and Austin
I
are
took
telling the
Darren
truth?
and Austin out of it. I'm not worried about personalities.
Okay,
I'm looking
now
at what
that's
did I
another thing.
read so far.
Okay, Saab, that's another thing I want to address with
Uh-huh.
you because I've been watching streams over the last few days and I've seen you join every stream and spew the same bullshit on every single stream. So let me just ask.
So she thinks saying, look at it from a logical standpoint of the evidence, take your personal feelings of the personalities and individuals out of it is somehow wrong. Why would you want to steer people away from a logical method and into a method of pathos, a method of your fifis? That has no place here. That has no place here. Feelings have no place with truth. That's all. Okay. And for you to be so objectionable that it is very telling. And what, you've watched me on every fucking stream? Should we start calling your show Coffee Stalk? I want to thank Mojo for that one. Coffee Stalk, or hell, I'm happy with Coffee Enema. Whatever. Let me see if I can find some fucking put you to sleep goddamn music to play in the background too. Holy God.
Ask you this. You keep saying repeatedly, my emotions aren't in it. It doesn't matter if you trust this person, blah, blah, blah. Well, the Globies brought back the data. So if you're not...
there you go. The Globies brought back the data. Which takes us right full circle back to the one point that we were making before. And several people in the chat, I highlighted one. Right? And then, come on, man. Does she not listen to the things she's saying? Were those, I don't even know what those ear things are.
Emotionally invested.
Shut
Shut up! I'm not done! I'm not
fucking tell me to
fucking done! I'm not done, you fucking loudmouth asshole Chong looking motherfucker. Let me
Woo! Somebody needs a mic.
finish. So anyway, if
tell you what, man, I bristle up. Some fucking cockbag starts telling me what to do and issuing orders at me like they have some level of goddamn authority. I bristle up and fucking buck against it right away. I can't even help it, man. I can't even help it. I'm like, who in the fuck do you think you are?
If that is what you feel, if you don't feel emotionally involved to trust Jaren or trust Austin to bring back valid information, and you're like, oh, the emotions aren't in it, I just want data. Well, then why don't you trust the data from the Globies? If your emotions aren't in it, then you shouldn't even fucking care. Oh, it's not about who you
because we've looked at the information from the Globies, and I ain't the only motherfucker that says that shit don't look right. Okay? I'm not the only one. And I think it's really interesting, Karen, that you want to steer that into this idea of, oh, you don't trust them. I don't even fucking know them. I don't know any of the people. I know of them, and I've associated with them online. And that's the extent of it. That's it. So for you to suggest that I trust based on what I preach against, the fucking perception deception, rather than using your goddamn brain to take not just the data, the optics of the entire fucking thing What you don't understand is that I look at it on several fucking levels, right down to the minutia, all the way out to the broad fucking picture. And that's how you got to do it. And all the way through, it's not looking on the up and up at all. What's happening, Moonbounce? How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. This is a great show, man. It's fantastic. I find this like comedic in a way. I mean, but that's just me.
I can't get to. I mean, are you kidding me? You are really pushing the trust me, bro, over the entire optics, including the data we've received so far.
Well, you said what a lot of people have a problem with, I think, is they don't listen to what they're actually saying. I think that if people listened more to what they say and like have a discernment on whether those words are actually meant for themselves, like they need to process those words within their own mind, within their own soul or body or whatever, process that through, see what belongs to them before they then project it forward to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what a lot of people there are doing. It's like they're not listening to themselves speak. They're just speaking and not paying attention to whether their words apply to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense.
I
because KarenB is like, well, if you just want data, then trust the Glober's data. But data is data for entirety. It's like
if the what is their shit going to be different than what we've seen so far for some reason? I mean, if they were all at the same place and they were all filming the same thing, we should just see another copy of the same fucking thing, maybe from a slightly different angle, right?
Absolutely. It's like all the people on the panel there, I'm wondering, like, what part of themselves are they thinking, boy, if I would have went down there, I would have done this, I would have done this, and I'd have done this. And it's almost like you start getting the vibe of like sometimes armchair quarterbacks. Hindsight's always 20/20.
Look, redundancy, and Vlad and I talked about this on his show too. Redundancy measures, man. He's former military as well. Redundancy measures. Listen, you got to live by Murphy's Law. Okay, and not just Murphy's Law, Murphy's extended law. If anything can go wrong, it will go wrong, and at the worst possible fucking moment. Okay, that's the extended Murphy's Law. So you prepare for that. Hope for the best, expect the worst is the best way to go into anything. Hope for the best and expect the worst. Be prepared. And that's all. That's what we said as far as armchair quarterbacking. Shit, I've gone to the field, okay, a lot of times with, sensitive electronics and shit in cold weather and had to operate that shit where it's blistering. You can't stand to have your fucking fingers off, but you can't work those fucking controls with them big Mickey Mouse gloves on, man. So you got to keep taking them off. You take it off with your mouth and you do what you got to do as quick as you possibly can. And then you put that fucker back on and stick it under your arm so it get warm again. Yeah, I've been in that. I know exactly what has to be done. So I don't understand this fucking bullshit excuses crap. I mean, look, you had a lot of time to prepare for this. I'm sorry. And it's like this too. And like I said, with the footage, we got to wait to see what they come back with. Why? Is it going to be different? Why would it be different? If it was different and it showed that they were fucking up and faking, that the Globers were, then shit. Look, you remember the old days, Jimmy Olsen and the Daily Planet and all that, it was all these reporters. Remember in the movies, the reporters, this is before internet time and shit, right? And the reporters would be getting a hot story or a picture like that. And what they do, they ran to be the first ones to call it in so that theirs could be on the desk first, right? That's what they wanted. I want my photograph. 15 other photographers took the same fucking photograph, but I was the first one that made it to the newspaper with it. You see, that's how shit kind of went with that. And I'm looking at this thing like, yeah. What is the other guy that took a picture? Is his picture going to be somehow different?
Am
That's
I
all.
missing something? Did Karen B actually go down there?
No. She was talking about some Lake Vladstock in Hungary or someplace over in
Because
Eastern Europe.
it was throwing me where she was like claiming, like what you were talking about, how the South is so much difficult than the North. It's like, has she been to the North? I mean, like all that information that she's like, I'm talking out of her mouth is like,
It's
where it's
just she went to a very, very cold place on a frozen lake to do some kind of observations or photography or whatever. And it was supposedly about 10 years ago. Basically, the gist of it is I have been in extreme cold conditions and had to do this stuff before, so I know what it's like. And I'm thinking to myself, I didn't see those people having that problem up there or down there or wherever the fuck they was at, right? I did not see anybody having that problem. I saw people.
so why do you
with
think
no
she blew
gloves
that
on.
gasket? Why do you think she blew that gasket at you?
Because I was over the fucking target with this shit. That's why. She wanted to
But
steer. She's wanting to steer this over to the trust me, bro angle, and I'm fucking that up. The plan all along was to run the trust me, bro angle. That's what the whole plan was in the first place.
so I mean, this probably is off this video because I didn't watch this show that you're redoing. Like, so do you think that if they did decide to do something like funky or trickery, do you think it costs more than like faking the moon landings?
Who's echoing?
Hey, that's not me.
I think it's Roger. Roger, I think you're echoing or something.
I'm
Yeah,
on
you
mute.
are.
I don't know how I could be echoing.
No, I just unmuted you. That's and then echo came back. All right, there you go. You'll fix that one. Okay. But yeah. So that was the gist of why she was saying that shit. But watch it. It gets worse. She lost her fucking mind and called everybody on the fucking panel damn near a retard. Watch.
Trust or who you like. Well, if it's not about who you trust or who you like, the Globies brought back the data.
Do
you not trust that data?
Do you think that I based that off the personalities? No, I based it off of what I saw, Karen.
So everybody from both sides is saying there's a 24-hour sun. So what the fuck is your problem?
I don't know that the people listen. I'm looking at the same shit that I'm seeing than before we went, right? Trust me, bro.
Why are you looking at the same shit before we went? Things are different. Now we've gone.
Holy shit, she could not equate what I said. Basically, Karen, you dimwit. Okay? What I'm saying is that we're in the same fucking boat we was in before they started this shit show fucking psyop in the first goddamn place. Hearsay and secondhand testimonies. They differ. So goddamn dumb. She can't be that fucking dumb to twist that into that. She can't be.
Yes, you can.
Holy fucking people follow this bitch.
Hey, can I say something, Saab, right quick? Sorry.
Yeah, go for it.
I just wanted to come in and say Yellowbeard was an excellent movie, and I wanted to get your autograph.
Who's?
Yellowbeard? Yellowbeard.
Oh, Yellowbeard. Okay, I got you.
I've always wanted to get one of your bongs, too, while I was at it.
Man. Go on Facebook, dude. You can order edibles from Cheech and Chong now.
Nice.
Yeah, man. But, I got mistaken for Tommy Chong in Vegas before. And a few years back, about 10 years ago. And I had JL glasses and I was wearing a bandana around in a jean jacket. It was fall. And some guys come up and said, "Look, it's Tommy Chong." And I was like, "Yeah, I wish." And he goes, "Come on, man. Can we get your autograph?" I'm like, "No, I'm not Tommy Chong." And they're like, "Yeah, you are, man. Come on, let me in taking selfies with me and shit." And I was like, "What the fuck, man?" Okay.
Hey, you know the thing about those edibles though that you can get, they had to follow that dog around for a while.
What kind is this? Labrador. My dog ate my stash. I had to follow a little fucker around for 3 days to get it back. And the guy's like, "We're smoking dog shit." All right, let's let the freak out begin. But see, this is it. I'll go back. I'm listening to this shit that she's saying, and I'm like, whoa, contradict. Because a couple of guys that went down there and said that I'm on the flat Earth side.
No,
and
it
I
wasn't
say
a
I
couple
fought
of guys.
24 hours time.
There were 10 people. There was a whole entourage. A bunch of people went. 50 cameras. Remember, you said it your fucking self.
Yes, and we've had fucking people down there since 1909 too, Karen. Okay, we've had people in Antarctica. Established base was in 1909. Okay. So we've had people in Antarctica for a long fucking time. What's 10 more? And from all those people that have been there, including the guy from National Geographic that supposedly hiked deep into the interior, where he said that in December, when the sun sets, it gets extremely cold at night. So why do we have conflicting testimony still? We've never had conflicting testimonies about the North. So this brings me back to why was this so fucking important? Perhaps an anomaly that takes place every so many years. Just like every so often, 2 more eclipses will pass over the North American continent in 1 year. That will happen again sometime in the future. It will happen somewhere else in the future. Okay, so there are these cycles, and that was something that got me right off the bat. That's a good screenshot right there. Look at that. It looked like somebody threw fucking holy water on her dumbass. Holy crap. I just noticed that. Anyway.
That is scary stuff. That is like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I wouldn't use it for a blow up doll, dude.
I mean, like, the power of Christ compels you. Oh, yeah, she was threatening me with witchcraft and shit in the fucking chat, telling me she was going to do witch shit on me, and she was fucking fire and smoke and all this other bullshit and everything. And I was like, man, come on. You got to be kidding, right?
Yeah. I think there's an agenda behind stuff, so think about it. Why are they so defensive about it? If we want to look at this stuff, go it.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, here's the thing, too. There again, methinks the lady does protest too much. What have I tried to steer people into completely? What have I tried to steer people into completely? The logic of it.
Yeah,
the overall picture, including the logic. And what did we get? So what I like to call that, right? And I've studied supposed historical events in the same way.
Gotcha.
And the way I do that is by what I call a xenoscopic standpoint. And what do I mean by that?
Don't know.
In other words, I ain't from here, man. I don't have a fucking dog in the fight at all. I want to just evaluate what happened. Like World War II, right? We got some kids that was squabbling on the fucking block. None of them's my kids. I'm not related to none of them. But I want to know what the fuck started this. I want to know what happened. And so I asked these kids over here, what the hell happened? And they said, well, these kids over here did this, that, and the other. And then I go over here and I ask these kids and I say, what happened? And they say, well, these kids over here did this, that, and the other. And so what I've got is his story and his story. And what I have to come to in the middle is the real story. I have to look at this all complete from a logical standpoint, from the macro to the micro.
So, wouldn't you call that objective way of looking at things?
Yes, absolute objectiveness. You call it
go.
xenoscopic standpoint. You know, if there was such things as an alien, just pretend you came here and said, wow, these fucking people was doing such and such. What was the outcome? Give me the shit, you know? But you also got to look at this thing too from the big picture. Okay, we already knew right off the bat that fucking Duffy was some kind of a goddamn plant. He's no more than a pastor than my dog is a goddamn pastor. Okay, he's got some kind of a little cover church there with about fucking 10 members in it. You can take his family out and the church has probably got 3 or more people left in it. That's it. You know, I mean, it's like, come on, that's a cover. Okay. And then come out and try to run a sermon saying that, oh, the Bible says it's okay for fucking people to lie. That's you guys misread that. Trust me, bro. Trust me, bro. I read it and it said, nah, you can go ahead and lie. It's all right, right? Yeah. Shh.
Well, I hear you can change the Bible to fit your narrative too. That's what I've heard. That's what he said, I think. Something around that lines. That's funny.
So I'm like, you know, come on. But when I start seeing this level of fighting against such a thing as logic and reason, then I have to wonder why. Why are you wanting to push the angle of the personality over the fucking optics of the entire thing? I seems like there's way too much objection. David, I think I'm getting a little bit of an echo from you, bro.
Oh yeah, I sure am. Sorry.
All right, see if you can fix that. I'll mute you till you fix it.
Yep. Thank you. Go ahead and mute me.
All right, I'm trying to. There we go. I think. Oh wait, took a second to show up on here. Okay, I think we're good now. Anyway, let's let the meltdown begin.
Oh, but it's not real.
1909.
Dude, I'm
There's
so
been people
over
here
this
since
old
1909.
retard fucking Chong motherfucker.
Look at it. Listen to these emotions. Listen to this emotional bullshit she comes up with, man. Listen to this.
Fucker, dude, seriously.
So
you
you
are
know what-
dumb.
so do you know
you
what-
are dumb.
Get a hold of your fucking fifis a little bit there, Witchy Poo. All right?
Oh my.
Seriously.
Okay, time the fuck out.
You're a
right,
fucking
guys.
idiot.
Oh, time the fuck out when I say that, but when she's going on about the fucking retard Chong bullshit and everything else, and she's okay with it, you know? Yeah, fuck you.
That's a little one-sided.
Let's take a chill pill here, guys.
You're in the fucking
It's-
tank.
Let's just take a chill pill
What
here, guys.
fucking tank?
Like a
Is that better? No, the tank of misinformation.
Oh, right, because you know so much, fucking Chong.
Dude.
Shut the fuck up.
Fucking
Like, you're not
pulling
even
it on
thinking
me. I
clearly.
ain't pulling
You
it
go
on.
on every stream spewing the same fucking bullshit.
So, what about it?
So,
you go on the same. Look at you. What are you, like 12?
subscribe to my channel.
Wow,
I
you already
go
lost.
against Jaron. I know
You
truth
lost.
because
I've been
blah,
going
blah,
against
blah.
Jaron.
Nah, man,
I've been
Jaron-
going against
Jaron.
Jaron.
That's a grown woman. That's a grown fucking woman right there.
Oh, that
Well,
made
whose
my
side
day.
are you on, Bob? Are you on Jaren's side?
Self-proclaimed leader in the truth community. That's right there. That's what we had right there.
I follow her. Anywhere she lead, dude. She knows what she's doing.
Jesus
Man, I've been
Christ.
depressed all week. That just made me laugh.
Well, I'm glad that we could bring you up out of that, Dave.
I haven't smiled in weeks, man. I swear to God.
Oh, that's a shame.
Damn. I know, but depression is real.
Yeah, I know, man. You know what? Hey, get as much UV as you can, man. I'm not shitting you. And
Yeah.
make sure that your nutrition levels are up. I'm not kidding you.
Yeah,
You'd be
no, I
surprised
do.
what that'll do for you, man.
No, I got a good diet.
Yeah, you get that. It'll get that vitamin D rolling through you, man. And yeah, trust me, bro. No, for real, man. Nutrition and sunlight, man. We're like plants. Man. We require that. We require sunlight. We require the proper nutritions, and if we don't get it, we start getting funky. You know, both physically and mentally. You know. So
I think David was getting it because he has the same kind of hat she has on.
Oh, that's it.
That's my Nike hat, man. I'm sitting in my house with my heat on low.
There you go. Who can afford to heat a house these days, anyway? Right?
Yep.
Yeah, I saw over here. There's a good place to get sunlight. It's in the Antarctic. They have a midnight sun for sale. You can go down and get all you want.
Look, you know, there may be a midnight sun down there. There may be that, you know, I don't know. What my point is that I am still in the same boat as I was before this started, information wise. I am relegated to somebody else's story. Right?
I'm right there with you, dude. I'm right there with you.
And might I add, very, very questionable video. I mean,
Sir.
there's been a
Oh,
lot
yeah, by
of
the way,
shit pointed out with that. Go
I
ahead,
got some
Rod.
donations for my trip already.
Hold on, one at a time.
Good. All right, go ahead. You want me to go first? I'll go first.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I got some donations for the GoFundMe already.
All right.
I know we're gonna go. We'll find out if it happens next year for sure.
Shit, yeah. And I'll tell you what, you know, and that's something, and it's worth exploring too, because I've had people give me flack on that as well. I couldn't help but be kind of suspicious as to why this year was so fucking important that everybody do this. You see, And the fact that what did I hear something else too, that they had to leave early because of a storm, and they were the only people that were at the resort. But then when they got there was a bunch of people waiting to go to get there. And it was like, why would there be people waiting to go if there's a fucking storm?
Strange.
It's all kinds of bullshit that's like not fucking adding up. You know, it just doesn't add up. And I'm always one of those people you've heard me say it before. The devil's in the details. But don't get focused just on the minutia. You got to look at the overall macro of the entire thing. And you and everybody else here knows that there ain't no fucking way whatsoever, even if there wasn't one, okay, that they're going to let a couple of swinging dick fucking flat earthers go down there and not see it. Okay, I have to run that angle too. Now, you also have to run the angle of, this is very important to the control structure. This is very, very important to the control structure. That's why there's been so much effort put into fighting it by government agencies. There's been a lot of effort put into fighting this thing. And
yeah, that's got a big ass budget too, don't they? They just got unlimited resources. They can do whatever they want.
It seems like it. So you know full well that they're not just going to put all that effort into it, go through generations of Rockefeller funded textbooks and bullshit, convincing people that they live on this wobbly fucking water space testicle blowing around through a universe, to just let two swinging dicks go down there and prove, see, we told you it's wrong. Bullshit. So you've got, if anybody knows how an offer that can't be refused, that's always a possibility as well too. I'm not saying they did. I'm just saying that is something that is a possibility. I have to look at all possibilities involved with this. And that's the only way you can do it. And if you start getting emotional like this crazy broad, and you start getting emotional into it, well, you've lost all your objectivity right there. That's all. So let me let this play.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That was a pun.
I remember her.
I don't recall the days before they left, they were saying they're going to go down there to show that there's a 24-hour sun in Antarctica.
Right.
And nobody continued that sentence and said, although it's not going to disprove the curvature formula issue. So I don't understand. People were freaking out. A lot of flat earthers must have changed their minds saying, yeah, if they go down there and they film a 24-hour sun, oh shit, it's a globe. No, it doesn't negate the curvature formula. People kept forgetting about all the flat earth proofs. All they did was maybe show that there's a 24-hour sun.
Yeah.
That's
well,
it.
Jaron had a name for anybody that thought that the earth was still a globe. And I was like with him, I said, what the fuck is with that? You know, I asked him, I said, that's fucking stupid. I don't think that the earth's going to be a globe if you see 24-hour sun.
Right, exactly.
You know, and
but they
he
were
had a name for
that.
it, Venus or something like that, meaning, you know, flat, even if we see a sun. And I was like, okay, whatever, you know. And I was like, come on, man, you're going to throw out every fucking bit of non-curvature, no convexity. What you think it must be a bigger ball or something, or
right.
what? I don't know. But I wasn't in that camp, and I was like, if you got a negative moniker for people that still think it's flat regardless, then, you know, so be it. I don't care. I'm one of them people, I could give a shit. You can call me whatever the fuck you want. But also keep in mind, you've opened yourself up for my cannons as well. Right, Karen? Yeah.
Everybody else.
You're
man.
an ignorant.
I'm
fuck
just
if you
so
think
tired
that.
of these
You wanna
fucking
get
retards, you
everybody
guys.
else.
This is why I stopped
You're
doing
ignorant fuck if you say
conferences
that.
because
I'm gonna have to
flat
go to
earthers
therapy
are
about this.
conspiratoried fucking retards. You're fucking
No, we're not. No, we're not.
retards.
No, we're not.
Retards.
Retarded.
Yes, you
We've
are.
got no.
You
we've got,
are a
we've got
retard,
people.
and you're a retard, and you're a fucking retard, and you're a fucking retard. You're cool, but you're a fucking retard, and you're a fucking retard. You're cool, but you're a fucking retard.
Okay, guys. All right, here we go.
Karen,
Now that you got it all out of your. Everybody got it all out of them.
So now we can
We're
all take a deep
clear.
breath.
We're all out of it.
Light all or something, man.
We're all out of it.
For real.
It's fine.
Everybody, just chill. Oh, we lost Karen. Shit.
Karen, you didn't have to go.
No, we didn't want
Cheat,
you to leave,
man.
Karen. Okay.
Whatever.
Rage quit. Called everybody a fucking retard and rage quit. Wow. That's your self-proclaimed leader.
That's what today was. That's what it was going to be. Everybody knew it was going to happen. We knew
See
it
what
was
happens.
coming.
See what
This is
happens.
why
You
I
see
have
what
been
happens when-
about taking the fucking emotions out of it, take the personalities about it, and look at the information. Do you see
I mean,
right
you
where
kinda
that
trigger
fucking
emotions.
bitch went?
Stop,
Do you
stop,
see
stop,
right where
stop,
she went?
stop.
No. She went right to that.
No.
Yeah, calm down though.
Stop.
Guys,
Calm down.
Look at that. Right to that fucking. Look at that. So Lowry, all you fucking tinfoil sombrero people, fuck yourselves with that bullshit. Sitting there worried about what some fucking bitch. Oh, the self-proclaimed fucking head bitch KarenB fucking on the show. How dare you speak to her that way? But she's allowed to just fucking go on the way she wants to. Fuck you. Fucking card.
No, you are. You
You
are
want me to
reacting
tell
to
you
it.
something? You want me
You
to tell
are
you something?
reacting to it. Your behavior matters too.
Well, hold on a minute. My behavior matters. I didn't lose my fucking mind and call everybody a goddamn retard and go on a tirade. And
Who froze? Hey, you're cool, but you're a retard.
Does it freeze up? Looks like it.
Yeah, we're going to do a countdown to the liftoff of Falcon Heavy.
What happened? Where are we at?
He's back. T minus 12.
Saul turned into a pillar of salt.
We're going to put everything under resilience and the conditions to experience resilience. They do the same thing with peace. They do the same thing with global security. And they dress it up in nice-sounding language.
Sorry about that, guys. My shit just went offline for no reason.
It's really amazing to me that people
can still damn Starlink.
What is echoing?
Wow. I'm sorry, Bob. Well, I think I got the gist of what KarenB's all about. She's about protecting her interests, dude. And Jaren and Witchet are her interests. And whatever they bring back, and Mama's going to take care of them no matter if they have to lie the rest of their lives or not, right?
So,
even if they think this shit, yeah.
Yeah, at about this point right here, I'd about had it with her and their fucking little apologetic fucking bullshit enough, and I just left the show. Fuck that shit. You know, I'm not putting up with anybody's fucking nonsense. I don't give a shit who the fuck they think they are.
Why you
know?
keep freezing up, Solve?
I don't know. Am I froze up right now? It looks like I'm
but that's
moving.
okay.
I'm moving around on mine.
Oh, and now you just
you're
you
moving.
moved a little bit.
Well, my
But
question
it's okay. Your audio's good.
Yeah, he's good. I got a question for you. How long do you think it took them to write those articles about Jaren?
Oh, they were probably written before they even left.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
I mean, that's where I'm at with that. Fuck yeah.
My 4-year-old better than that, probably.
Dude, they're not even good at it. They're not even good at this shit.
They're not even good at this shit. And then when they go to that, listen, that whole purpose of Karen coming on there was to don't listen to this guy. I'm KarenB, and you should be trusting me. You should go with trust me, bro, over being objective. Anybody who speaks about being objective and having taken redundancy issues and shit like that and pointing out the fact that the ball was dropped on this entire thing is just a retard. Good objectiveness there, Karen. I can see how you've come to so many truths and conclusions. You know, who in the fuck are you? Jesus Christ.
You should clip that and play it back like you do that baby. But she just goes, you're cool, but you're a retard.
You know
You're
what?
cool,
Yeah.
but you're a retard.
Watch. Let's do that. What the fuck? I'm gonna. That's a good idea.
Yeah, that was a good one. Oh, I got a clip from True Trollette. It's a backstage thing with Candace Owens, producer, and a couple of people in Globebusters talking about who's paying for this and whose story they're going to tell before they left. It's kind of a cool little video. I'll send it to you one day, so I'll have to dig and get it later. But it's interesting. And the people who are paying for all this are globalists. That's who paid for this trip. Period. That's where all the funding and all the.
Mm-hmm. Who went on that? Who's that from? Did you put it back over in the private chat or anything?
No, True Trollette actually gave it to me. It's in my comment section. She gave it to me. I have to dig through and get it.
You'll have to show that one day, man. That would be interesting to see.
I can go. I'm going to go on later. I'll put it in on my show, and I'll send it up and put it in my comment so you can grab it if you want it.
All right. This is basically, if you missed Karen's little tirade, okay, this is basically was it.
You're muted, Saul.
Did you see it? Did it work?
A little baby came up for a second.
Yeah, you didn't hear him?
We heard him.
Oh, okay.
To hear KarenB, I thought you were going to put her.
No, that was that.
Do it,
well, it sounded the
again.
same. It
Do it
sounded
again.
All right. It sounded the same to me.
Did you see the other video where the little baby girl points to something and the mom says no and she starts crying like she
No.
wanted it? Have you seen that video?
No.
Oh, that's a funny one.
Well, let's see it. Let's just compare it one time. Let's see it. Let's listen. Hold on.
Else,
You're an ignorant.
I'm just so tired of these fucking retards, you guys. This is why I stopped doing conferences because flat earthers are conspiratarded fucking retards. You're fucking retards. Retards. Yes, you are. You are a retard, and you're a retard, and you're a fucking retard, and you're a fucking retard. You're cool, but you're a fucking retard, and you're a fucking retard. You're cool.
Wow. That's a clip. That's definitely a clip. Wow. So I don't know. I didn't watch Coffee Enema. That's her show, I guess, or Coffee Talk or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know if she talks about that, but apparently Witsit called in on the show. And what was it? Somebody was telling me about that. I only caught a little bit. Did any of y'all hear anything about that?
Nope.
No.
I didn't.
Witsit calling in on her? I know he called in on Nathan Oakley the other day.
I was there for that. That was fun.
And let me see. He called. I'm trying to remember what they had said to me about that.
When are you going on Jaren's show again?
Well, Reefer Roulette doesn't go back on until after the first of the year. So
Oh, okay.
it'll probably be whatever Wednesday is after that. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about it or whatever. And of course, it has, nothing to do with this thing at all. It's
Right.
And if there's some reason, that because I don't think that he and Witsit made the best play at all, that
Right.
I think that they fumbled and they dropped the ball.
Yep. And flat Earth.
If you're going to get mad at me because I pointed that out, dude, if I was your best friend and you were the quarterback on the football team and you did that shit, I would say the same thing. I'd say, dude, you fucked that up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not a yes man. I'm not going to just pat you on the back and say, oh, it's okay. I'm going to tell you if you fucked up, I'm going to tell you, dude, you fucked up.
And they got an answer to why the sun went oblong, like it got smushed.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Hey, Sob, I put the that thing in the back here in the private chat if you want to look at it.
Okay. Yeah, let's do
When
that.
all the shadows that was happening and people were trying to say, oh, that's, no, that's just how shadows work. David Weiss had a great video today. He went out with his wife and actually did a video with his wife showing how if she walks from across the little parking lot and turns and comes towards him, the shadows do go long and short. That's just how shadows work. It's about perspective. So everybody was freaking out.
If the light
shadows.
source, that's going to change. Like it's not going to shrink and grow as you walk to and from it, unless it's a local source of light. Okay, trust.
Well,
I've
it's
spent
local
so much
because
time
on the flat Earth,
outside.
it's local, right?
Well, not that local. We're still dealing with the sun that you have outside every day. I mean, it's local enough.
Go
Local
look at
in the
David
sense.
Weiss's video. It just came up today. It's like,
local in the sense that it's not 93 million miles.
of course,
Okay.
of course.
So,
and that's why
but
David's
you got to
video.
say that your shadows are going to behave the same here as what they were doing down there, if that is true.
Right,
So
exactly. And that's what David Weiss proved.
Well, the thing is, well, see that I can see this. I can see maybe a justification for this with shadow angles, but I cannot see a justification for somebody who's walking to and from the location of the sun and his shadow is growing and shrinking. Okay, that's something much closer than our sun.
David and his wife performed the same walk that he did. His wife did it. And it did the same thing.
David, I have been outside so much of my life. Okay. I have worked outside. I have played outside. I'm 60 years old. I have a lot of experience with my own shadow. All right.
Yeah, but your own shadow would be your perspective standing over your shadow.
Doesn't matter. You're not going to lose it. Listen, you don't the distance he went and the amount you lose the shadow of it was not even close to what it would be. Not at all. I'm sorry. I'm just not buying
sorry.
it.
I just wanted to let you know David just did the same.
I saw it. And I also have been outside. And I also have been in the sun several times in my life.
Yeah, but
and it doesn't matter. I've seen people walk away from me and toward me, and their shadow does not drastically increase that much with the short amount of distance that Toon was walking. It does not happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I think sometimes in life we jump ahead of ourselves. I say to people today, when you watch the eclipse, nobody has ever seen the moon approaching the sun and departing the sun, and they'll sit there and swear up and down, "Oh, I've seen the moon approaching the sun," and you're like, "No, you don't." In their mind, they think they do, but they don't. That's all I'm saying.
There's like people that associate what they saw on TV on 9/11 with actually having seen the airplane. Nobody actually saw the fucking airplane.
That's right. They were CGI implants.
Somebody was going to say something. Was that you, Moon?
Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, David wants us to believe that was his wife.
Well, why would he say that's his wife if it wasn't?
I don't know, man. I don't even know.
My point exactly, according to like all of this stuff. I mean, you see what I mean? We can call into question a lot of things. It's just like that same thing. It's going to, you believe it, you know it, you think you see it, like, oh, I've seen the sun or the moon approach the sun. Well, you think you have, but you don't know you have. And it's just like that same kind of stuff, all that hearsay or whatever. Dave said it was his wife. Well, we can believe that it was his wife, but those shadows were all over her. You couldn't really tell if that was a wife or a dude or
Come
whatever.
on.
We're
Come
just
on.
trusting Dave said it.
We're
I'm just
looking at it.
saying.
It
hairs
don't matter
now.
who it was. It's the shadow.
If wife
experiment
said it
stuff.
was his wife, I mean, come on, David
I'm
is
not
very
gonna.
credible.
I don't care who it was. It could have been
doesn't.
a
That's right.
fucking
It doesn't
pole.
matter who the fuck it was.
That's why it just depended on the shadow. Exactly. That's why I'm saying it just depended on the shadow. What David was saying. Well, McToon was walking from there to there, and that shadow did this, where you're claiming, well, Dave Weiss proved it with his wife because she was walking there and that shadow was there. It's like, you know, there comes
No. It wasn't proving that was his wife. It was proving how shadows
Yeah, I would have
work
to say that.
and how it's
or trying to
somewhat an illusion.
demonstrate.
It's optical.
Right.
That's all that was.
Yeah, that's all that was.
He could have said it was my neighbor. It's all it has nothing to do with who
Right.
he
I know
filmed.
that's important. It doesn't
He
matter.
was filming
Let's
how
just
the
say, hold
shadows changed.
on. Tom Smith, that nobody knows, made the video and he did it with a friend. Okay. So we'll just do that. Okay. Does that now change the content of the video? No.
Because the video was about how the shadows move.
Right. And the only reason I said that was also in keeping up with what KarenB was saying when she was like, well, see, all the Globers brought back the data and they did all this. That was just the thing on what everybody talks about, who's who and who you're going to believe and whether or not that person is believable, who you can trust, who you can't trust.
Right. Well, that it's all based on perception. This entire thing was based on perceptions, including the decision to use Pastor Smile and Bob the preacher as the front man for it. What a disarming thing, you know. He's a preacher. I'm just surprised they didn't use a Catholic priest or something, you know, or a nun. I don't know. You know, that's what I'm saying. It's just like you're based on in your perception. Like everybody has this perception of Mother Teresa was this wonderful woman and shit. Well, no, she wasn't. She was a monster. She was a fucking monster. But everybody, because of the PR campaign she's had, everybody thinks that, oh, Mother Teresa, the kindest woman in the world. She helped all these starving kids. Bullshit. Man, she was a monster. And you can look into that. You got to be careful of what your fucking perceptions are. That's all.
So what do you think about David disproving where everybody was saying that the FE logo was proof of a green screen? Well, David showed you in his studio how, in fact, that they were not using green screen.
Yeah, that was done on purpose.
Yeah, of course it was done on purpose to have this. Oh, see, they're faking it. They're using green screen. But to David's credit and his knowledge, he showed us how it wasn't done, and he simulated it in his room.
But you know what? It doesn't mean it wasn't faked. Okay.
Of course, I'm not saying that. I'm saying
right. So it just means
the FE logo being in and out of the jacket.
Right. Or in the lab where they had the scales and all that too. Right. Okay.
Yes.
So I believe that was done deliberately because, as I pointed out on here, you're going to take all the precautions you can to save your battery life in this extreme environment that you're in. Right. Okay. So that wasn't an accident that was still there.
That's right. It was done on purpose.
And they're right.
So the flat earthers would say, see, they're using green screen.
I understand that. And how was it dispelled? No, see, they weren't using green screen.
Right.
It wasn't said that they didn't fake, that it was real. It just said they didn't use green screen.
Correct.
All right.
That's it.
Take that to this. Take that to what I'm about to say. I have never killed anyone that didn't deserve it. Now, most people, when they hear that, they're going to take it that I have indeed killed people, but they deserved it. But I never said that, did I? I just said I've never killed anyone that didn't deserve it. I never said I've killed anyone that did deserve it either, but you assumed it. So when that's left on and they come on with the thing and the explanation and say, oh, look, they didn't use a green screen. Okay. Sure. Is that the only way to do stuff like that? You think, is it? Is it the only way to do stuff like that? No, we've seen evidence that it's not. So they're again correct. It's like the word magic that they've slipped into the level definition in Webster's dictionary. The very first part of the first definition says no point higher than another. Okay. Means, right? That's level, straight. Because to have a deviation would be a point higher than another, right? So that means straight. But then there's a little semicolon and it says, adhering to the curvature of the liquid portions of Earth's surface. You then assume that there is curvature to the liquid portions of Earth's surface. But since there isn't, it doesn't contradict the very first part of it because it does conform to the curvature of the liquid portions of the earth because there is none. This is how word magic is done.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, okay, I buy it. They didn't use a green screen. That's old tech. It's sloppy. But you're also not going to have that shit running in the background. You're going to try to save all your resources if it was indeed as cold of a bitter environment as we were described in comparison to this lake that was frozen in Yugoslavia or wherever the hell else, right?
Well, it must not have been that cold. They went topless.
That's what I'm saying. And what, it's going to get cold at night? No,
I mean,
the sun doesn't go down, right?
Down there, right?
Right, and it's not going to get cold during the night.
It's in the middle of the summer down there. So it's, what does it get to? 30 degrees?
I don't know, man.
You know?
I can only go by what they tell me, man. And I've got contradicting stories on that shit too. So yeah, I don't know.
Go type in a weather map and see what the temperature is.
We had the weather from the actual place up on screen. We're looking at it in real time.
What's the name of the place they were at?
Union Glacier Camp.
So is that part of that peninsula of the Antarctica, or is it in the mainland of Antarctica?
According to them, it's kind of in the peninsula.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Listen, I can only go by what they tell me. I can only go by shit that they're showing me. And I already know that that you got to be careful because everything's a goddamn mind fuck.
Yep.
You know? And that's why I'm relegated to only what I can actually establish. I need shit that's beyond a reasonable doubt. And I'm sorry, hearsay evidence does not give me reasonable doubt.
Nope.
Video alone, especially with some of the shit that I've seen and the egg-shaped sun and all that other fucking nonsense. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on there.
You know when June was on the radio, on the phone, or whatever and he was yelling and screaming.
Yeah.
Didn't he make an error in a statement? He said, "I told you there wasn't 24 hours of sunset. That wasn't the goal. The goal was to see 24 hours of sun." Yeah. But when he was ranting, he literally said 24 hours of sunset.
I think he was having his period, man.
Yeah, I mean, did you catch that?
I listened to the thing and I can barely stand to listen to him. No, I didn't catch that aspect of it. But I thought, oh my God, this is a middle-aged man.
Right.
Ranting into
he said 24 hours of darkness, I think is what he said. And I'm like, why did he just say that? It was supposed to be 24 hours of sunlight.
Right.
Unbelievable.
But I was just amazed that there was a man of that age ranting into his phone and marching around. It was reminiscent It was reminiscent of like a teenage girl, 13, 14 years old in the mall.
When I seen him,
can I finish talking, man?
Go ahead.
Never mind, man. Go ahead. Obviously, what I was saying wasn't important enough to finish. So go ahead.
It's hard, I'm just trying to talk normal with somebody. That's all.
I know. It's like I have to be able to finish the sentence to be able to do it, But no, I mean, you're gonna rant around on your phone like a little girl at the mall hollering at her boyfriend or whatever. I'm like that, you're not realize you watch the video for yourself, Tune, and if that doesn't bother you, if your own behavior on video doesn't bother you, that's sad, man. That's really fucking sad. I can't understand that. I don't know.
Didn't Tune appear on several of Jeranism's debate shows? Wasn't he one of those?
I think it was more Craig than Tune. I don't know. I got to a point with those two fucking clowns that I was like, okay, you've been weighed, measured, and found wanting badly. And I'm tired of hearing you say the same stupid shit over and over.
Yeah.
You fuck you. And so I quit giving them any attention. So I see something come up and they're, oh, so-and-so is debating FTFE or so-and-so is debating this guy. And I'm like, dude, here's a neat thing on World War II or something. I'll watch that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
What
the reason I brought that up is because my point was just watching those characters on the screen, you get a sense that their personality is just all fucked up. Like, what's that other guy? Professor Dave. When you see him do a thing, it's like, this guy is mental. So when you see him acting the way he did on the phone, it's like, yeah, you would expect that of that type of a character. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Not normal.
And I'm like, yeah, no, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. That's not normal behavior. And I'll tell you, this does worry me. And I'll tell you, and I'm sorry if maybe God is separating wheat from tares for me. But even with this broad threatened me with witchcraft in the fucking chat.
She did?
Oh yeah, said she was a witch and fire and smoke and all this other fucking shit. And I go,
I put a spell on you.
Yeah, listen, I'm immune to them. Okay,
Damn.
trust me. Okay, I'm immune to it. You
try. We all are because it's all fake.
Well, she's probably seen you light a cigarette, and there's some fire and smoke in that.
I don't know. I got a lot of fire and
Depends on what you're smoking. Depends on what you're smoking, right, Dave?
Speaking of fire and smoke, we should need to get some of that rolling here, buddy. That's all.
That's right.
Parallax.
Yeah, paragravelactalax and shit, But man, I was like, and then to see the way these people act, and it's on both sides, right? So we had dipshit Tune losing his shit out there on the ice. I thought it was hilarious. Did you see Nathan Thompson's parody video on that? Where he was just walking around yelling into his phone and shit.
No.
It was funny as hell. But, and on the other side too. I mean, look at this fucking craziness. This actually happened. Listen to this bitch.
I stop doing conferences because flat earthers are conspiratorial fucking retards. You're fucking retards. Retards. Yes, you are. You are a retard, and you're a retard, and you're a fucking retard, and you're a fucking retard. You're cool, but you're a fucking retard, and you're a fucking retard. You're cool, but you're a fucking retard.
Okay, guys. All right, here we go. Now that you got it all out of it. You got it all.
You should use that voice like the little baby uses that voice in a video and use her voice as an inlay.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm going to clip that. Yeah. I downloaded the whole thing.
Clip it and somehow use it in an inlay on something.
Because that just blew my mind.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen her.
That's golden.
I've seen her act like that, like some kind of fucking menopausal monster of some kind. Where the fuck was that? Oh, some guy that, I have to admit, the guy was like, it was on melted buildings, meltology or whatever, right? And she just fucking went on this tirade about it, and it was like the one guy, he's like, thinking everything was melted buildings. And then her
stance on it was there's no such thing as any melted buildings. And I'm like, wow, what? And she went off on a tirade, called that guy a retard and all this other dumb shit too. And I thought, that's not very becoming, And then my man Mojo, he came up and saw me right afterwards. He was down there in Flattoberfest. He came back here and told me what a shit show that was. He did what he could. He used his audio equipment shit and got stuff underway so they could at least have the people up talking and everything else like that. It's how much you think that bitch appreciated that? None, man. She just treated him like a piece of dirty gum on the bottom of her shoe, man. I was like, fuck that shit, man. So whatever, self-proclaimed queen of the whatever the fuck you're gatekeeping over there on your coffee enema show. Fuck you. We got any other stuff on the agenda tonight? Let's take a look over here at because there is a couple of things.
Hey, he kept saying retard. It made me think about Eric Dubé on one of his videos. He makes retard an acronym where each letter stands for something, and I don't remember what it is. I don't know if you do.
Let's see. Here's something about.
I wrote it down somewhere, but the reason I wrote it down is because it's poignant. Retard acronym is so perfect. The way he used it.
Yeah, it's that link Roger left.
See, you'd have to be further away from this. Let me show you something. This is what's got me right here. Okay, it's shit like this. Now, in order to claim that is because of perspective, I'm sorry. No, things perspective doesn't go that drastic.
What are you looking at?
Okay, we're looking at the lines coming up from this guy's shadows right here.
No, you're just showing the sun.
What? Oh, you guys can't see the fucking picture?
No, I can see it. Those red lines are showing the dot to the shadow.
Are you fucking with me, Dave?
Are you talking about this? The thing I see is the eclipse of the sun. That's on your screen.
Oh, I don't know. For some reason, you're not getting the graphic that I'm showing.
Yeah, Dave's got a blink. You can see it in his glasses. Look, his right eye there is showing that he sees what you're showing.
See it?
That's not an eclipse.
Whatever I'm seeing is the sun with all the rays coming off of it, and then whatever the moon is eclipsing it from the bottom up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. You're for some reason not getting the graphic. Everybody else is.
Let me refresh.
It's his perspective.
Okay, so what I'm saying is you've looked down railroad tracks. Do they angle together that quickly on you? No. You've looked at parallel lines down a distance. Do they angle back that drastically, that quickly? No. I'm just saying that's the kind of shit that I'm looking at. And I don't know, King Nico was talking something about these LED screens that they're modular, put them together and run them through like in a curved structure. And that even something like this, the LED from the sun image itself, the LED from that actually producing light, like a real sun. So I don't know, man. It's just, this is why we needed that 24-hour live. We needed to at least have salvaged whatever remained of it when supposedly Starlink went down. There's a lot of shit, big picture, that I look at that I'm going, this doesn't make any fucking sense to me, man.
Hey, Dave, what doesn't make sense about that picture you showed? I mean, to you, what doesn't make sense about it?
The angle of perspective is way too fucking drastic for.
Who put those red lines on there?
Somebody who drew them parallel with the shadows and.
But you notice that one on the far right, that red line where it comes down. See where the dude on the far right, see it comes down on his head, and this one on the far left comes down in the middle of the body. And then the two in the middle, like, what are those shadows for? The dudes that are way back there by that building?
Yeah. You can see
I still
that
think
kind
that's
of
just
angled
how
back.
I think that's just how shadows work, like David Weiss showed today.
I don't think that they're going to two linear shadows. Your perspective from a distance will make it do that, but let's face it, we're not really at a distance, especially with this stuff that's in the foreground. I'm talking about this arrow here and this shadow, this arrow here, the third one over, primarily the first one on the left, third one from that, and that one right after it. Okay, this is,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm just saying it's giving me pause. I don't see it working. Yeah, I can gimmick you. I could gimmick you and say, oh yeah, I could go out there and show you fence posts that would be appearing to deviate away if I give you the right perspective to it. But I'm not getting that same perspective from this photograph.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You have to recreate what you're seeing. You can't go, oh look, here's something similar. And to credit Dave Weiss, I mean, yeah, I understand doing a test like that. I'm just saying there's a lot of shit that just doesn't fucking add up. There's also something somebody noticed too with the McKeegan footage that like compared to the north where the thing kind of goes up and down, the sun kind of goes up and down a little bit and up and down. This one stayed pretty fucking linear going. I don't know, man. I'm just saying, here we are in the same boat we were before they started this shit show. And I don't know, man.
Did you see that?
It might as well just go ahead and be like, okay, we got some guys we know that have a story. Okay, that's your story. I accept it as your story. That's the only way I can do this now, just like I did before. So it might as well have just never happened.
On a flat Earth map, Antarctica is well below the circuit of the sun as it's out there in Capricorn, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're in Antarctica facing Mount Meru north, the sun, and this is what one of those scientists videoed in Antarctica, the sun rises from the northeast and then departs to the northwest, but never circles around you. You could see that by just looking at a flat Earth map.
Mm-hmm.
But these clowns went down there, and the first thing I objected to is when they scan the sun, they're literally making a 360 as though the sun circled them.
Right.
But that couldn't even happen.
Well, that's why they say, oh, that proves you're on a globe.
But they're right. They're forcing a ball into a square hole is what they're doing.
Well,
something to that effect.
And like I said, it'd be just as well as though that never took place, because there again, and Karen wanting to appeal to consensus. You see, that was an appeal to consensus. But we've got 10 people that went down there. We've had people going down there since 1909. The fuck you talking about? Just 10 people. And we have contradictory stories from all of them. Okay? So I don't know what to tell you. You spent over $100,000, a couple $100,000 on fucking bupkis, man. Right? And that's the way I see it.
I think the government paid this guy off because he's being indicted on tax evasion, and this is going to clear off his debt.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I just,
I mean,
I
it's just,
I had him pegged for what the fuck he is right off the bat.
Yeah.
He never fooled me as to, with his smile and Bob, the preacher, I could see right the fuck through him. I can see these fucking people, man. Like, amazing vision. And that's why with Karen, I'm surprised I've been able to hold off this fucking long. I really am. Because I'm glad. It felt good. It felt good to go ahead and just get that out too about that, because I'm like, fuck you. You're actually rejecting logic over feelings.
Yeah.
Okay. Come on, man. How many people do you think? There's a lot of people been married to somebody even and never knew that their husband worked for the fucking CIA.
Yeah.
All they knew, he was Bill the carpet salesman that worked at Carpet World and shit.
Or he was a mobster.
You know, or yeah, something like that. You know, Daddy's got to go to work. What are you? I'm a plumber, you know, but they mean it in the other sense. You know what I'm saying? And it's like,
he's a fixer.
Yeah, a fixer. I fix things. Oh, okay.
A
Thank
cleaner.
you, Daddy.
I'm a cleaner.
Right. Or I'm a cleaner. So, you know, that's the thing is you got to be careful on that because it's like when it comes down to the end of the day, you know, you got to really listen to your intuition. Right now, my intuition is screaming hard. And especially over that little tirade that took place last night, I was like, whoa, you don't want people thinking along those lines at all. You want them going by their fucking personal feelings about the shit, which is exactly how the establishment gets people to go along with shit in their first place. Why do you think the first thing they do when there's some kind of a war they want to get us in? Why do you think one of the first stories they run on you is, oh, they're chopping off babies' heads and they're using them for bayonet practice and they're just enslaving women and they're gang molesting people? And, you know, that's the first thing they do because that's going to enrage you. That's going to get your fucking emotions involved into it. And then they can run their propaganda on you and send you off to die in a bloody fucking desert someplace.
That's all. They're not fooling nobody.
No, not me. Not me.
You know, we know that Satan literally never tells the truth.
Well,
and we live in a world where it's a spiritual war, and it's been like this for thousands of years. God versus Satan. And right now, without the morality and other things, Satan is in control. No doubt. But what really kills me and proves to me that we have real Satans walking among us is when a glober doesn't deny the curvature formula, but then will still go ahead and say it's a globe. So I don't understand that. If you admit that this is your formula for curvature, then it's a done deal. It's an end of story. You're a flat earther now. But for them to continue this fucking lie, I think in my heart, these are really examples of Satan.
Well, and like I've said before, I think he uses men or NPCs or whatever the fuck to operate within this 3D realm to put out the agenda. Yep. You know, each person playing their role in it, you know, some of them knowingly, others unknowingly. But this is the kind of thing, you know, right here. Here's the wolf that lies next to the lamb. Listen to this guy.
Please, I beg you, we have to stop claiming that the 10 Commandments prohibit lying.
The final experiment is a story. Like, we're telling a story, and the story started a year ago and it's continuing to be told. So just realize that.
That's not true. The 10 Commandments prohibit bearing false witness against your neighbor. Okay. We finally get to my conclusion on the matter of lying and deception, and that is this. After carefully looking at both sides of the debate, and after taking a very deep dive into everything I could possibly find in Scripture regarding lying and deception, I have come to the conclusion that neither lying nor deception are inherently immoral.
The final experiment is a story.
So
Hey,
please,
stop.
I beg you.
That sounds like the coppers going, we've investigated ourselves and found no wrongdoing.
Thank
That's
you.
what Duffy
Thank
sounds
you.
like.
Dude, from your mouth to God's ears, I just said that last night too. I said that's exactly like that. Well, we investigated ourselves and found, you know, I'm not lying. Just ask me. You know, I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, he begs. He's begging everybody. That's really weird too. That's why I started laughing because it's like, I beg you. I beg you. It's like, why are you begging anybody to believe that, you know, the 10 Commandments, bearing false witness doesn't say you can't lie and deceive.
I mean, there's certain instances where judiciousness is needed. Like if you're, trying to save somebody's life, some guy's looking for somebody they're wanting to kill him and shit, and you got him hid, and they ask you, do you know where this guy's at? And you're like, no,
Dave's not here.
That kind of thing. Wait a second, who are we talking about first? No. But you know what I'm saying? You're just not supposed to do that. You're not supposed to deceive people. Okay, you're not supposed to intentionally deceive people, especially for gain.
Well, you know who his people that his parishioners are? They're literally mentally challenged.
They'd have to be. I don't know. Roger.
No, they are. They have to be.
Roger's been to the church, and he said it doesn't have very many people.
Right.
But,
and the other example is that debate where those two pastors debated, and Whitsitt was there.
Yeah.
And some others. I think David Weiss was there.
Yep.
Okay. Did you see where the camera panned into the audience? Those fuckers are like inbred for 6 generations. You can just tell these people, and I'm not trying to be mean, but we all know when you see somebody that's not right, they're not right. There's something lacking in their head.
Well, Duffy was like playing right there doing that same thing, going, trust me, bro, because nowhere in there did he even mention a scripture of why he actually was begging everybody to take his point of view.
He said, I read the Bible, trust me, and it doesn't say that. So
right.
Go ahead. Go forth and lie your fucking ass off now. Jesus Christ. That's crazy, isn't it? Isn't it crazy?
But this is a sick world we live in.
Dude.
It really literally is a sick fucking world.
Yeah.
Well, make sure you get out in the sun and get some vitamin D.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, Dave. You need to make sure your nutrition's up. Get plenty of UV light, and if it's overcast, go over to the produce section and the frozen foods in your grocery store. Those kind of lights right there provide some UV that'll help you.
Yeah.
Or I kill the bacteria,
I go to my grow tent and look how my tomatoes going and stand under that. Go stand under that light.
Tomatoes, right? Tomatoes.
I got the full spectrum light in my grow tent on my tomato.
I'm about to have me a fucking BLT right now. Watch here.
Hello.
Oh my God, damn. Shout out to Flat Earth Farms. Oh my God, yeah. So that's I wanted to touch on that tonight. Wish everybody a happy Christmas and everything else like that that's coming up.
Coming up Wednesday, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Day after tomorrow.
Hey, Sob, what was that link Roger put in the chat?
Oh, hang tight. I was gonna grab that and put it out here. Damn it. Okay, it's a TFE documentary. TFE documentary director Jonathan on Clubhouse with Aether Brothers. And I'm going to put this down here. I've not watched it yet. I didn't show it because it's an hour and 38 minutes long. So take a little bit of time. Probably it looks like it's more of a listen than it is a watch. But I could be wrong. So let me put that over there. Let me put this over here. We got 23 over in Rumble. Want to welcome everybody over there. Let's see who I got. Leo Slayer's over there. Good job, man. Sanderson 7476 over here. Melted Brain Cells. Chronic Enlightenment. What's up, brother? And we got Nosta Bingit. And we've gotten some people over here in the YouTube side too. Truth Trollett's here. Vince Lube. We got Unindoctrinated. I think he was in and out a little bit back before here. Yeah, we got a lot of new people in here. We're doing 202 on here. That's not too bad. Please show that bong. It looks cool. Yeah, it is kind of cool. It's an amanthus mushroom. See, and it's got a single eye.
Will you
right here.
unfreeze your video so I can see?
I shouldn't be froze. My video seems to be working just fine right now.
It must be my computer.
Gotta be.
Oh, you know what? I'm using my cell phone's hotspot to generate my laptop. That's what it is.
Yeah, I'm rolling right on through here, man.
Okay,
There's Daryl. Shout out to what? Well, let me see. I'm trying to figure out what it is this time. I've been like bringing out different varieties and shit because it's Christmas. And yeah, the delicata grapes. That's what we're into right now. No, it has HR Biggs. It only has one eye. That's it. And I think my wife's has two eyes. She had one that's a different similar.
3 pointers.
There you go. You win. Wow, you just like appeared in the screen all of a sudden. That was kind of crazy. It was like you just teleported in.
Cheers.
Magic.
He's got hot spots.
What was the fuck was that shit that she said where she was going, oh, well, no matter what, it doesn't matter. I stopped doing these kinds of observations because the sun just goes around you. It's magic. And I'm like, what the fuck? This broad is losing her goddamn mind, man. But I can find common ground there. Oh yeah, 50 days, 52 days of flower, man. That shit, that's a long fucking flower time. No, it ain't bad. No, I'm sorry. That's good, actually. Is it an express strain? That's pretty crazy. Anyway, I'm really fucking high right now. But no, I can look at it that way too, is because it's like, dude, we don't even know what the fuck the sun is.
It's a light.
Well, yeah, but, you know, as far as the mechanics
it's a fucking light.
As far as the mechanics are involved, though, I mean, we don't know what it's comprised of.
But I think it's a reflection in our dome.
Well, yeah, we have a lot. That's my point. We have a lot of thoughts on it, but as far as like, you'd have to it'd be like trying to go and analyze a rainbow somehow. Like, yeah. Let's go over this rainbow. It seems like it's very elusive to, especially when being observed. It seems to be very elusive, and we get these readings from people that are in, you
can't triangulate.
Don't make any fucking sense whatsoever, you know? Yeah, I don't know, man. So, hell, we may figure out what the sun is, we may not, but we all knew what this was going to be. And when I said it was a psyop, of course we knew it was a psyop, but in the respect of that the normal people out there, and when I say, normies out there, that some of them, and probably a great majority by now, have heard about the flat earth and maybe become interested and thought about it a bit. This was designed to dissuade them. Now, within this whole fucking battlefield of it, it was also a psyop. It was a flash in the pan, if you will. It was an expectation of something that never came through. However, many of us still stayed there with the idea that, well, whatever happens with the sun would be interesting. And listen, I would love for, if that all that shit is true down there or out there, that would be great. Of course, it doesn't prove a globe, but it's like, okay, we really need to explore what's going on with that. But as to now, I'm like, okay, well, they're saying that. And then just in time, some of these people are coming out with, look, this is why it's possible down there and all this other shit. And I'm like, oh, okay, that may very well be. I'm going to be very cautious because it could be, or it could be somebody just trying to steer a fucking narrative in a certain direction that leads me away from where I'm wanting to go. That's where I have to look at with everything. And what it says in the Bible, let all men be liars. So I have to consider that. So I don't know if there's any more not innocent.
I think if they were in Antarctica, the sun would have been a much lower in the sky than they perceived it, because I've been trying to visualize on an apple or an orange the rotation and if they're facing north, what it would actually be doing. But when you compare the flat earth map, you got from the equator from Cancer to the equator to Capricorn, those are equal distances. And then from Capricorn to the Antarctica is another distance much longer than the distance between, say, those points.
Yeah.
So that means the sun would have to be much lower in the sky.
Yeah, I agree.
And the best point.
Well, it should at least rise and go down a little bit. There should be like an S wave pattern because of that tilt. You gotta, if the sun's out here and the Earth's tilted like that, right? And you're down here, then that would make the sun kind of do one of these numbers, like an S pattern. I don't know. Like I said, it was a false dichotomy. Yep. I think it's interesting. Maybe if that's true, that there's a 24-hour sun, great. Let's look into that anomaly. Let's look at it beyond models. Okay. Let's look at it a little bit beyond models, because models can say, yes, here's a great possibility, but in all reality, it doesn't come down. The model has to be, you can't make a model to fit what you think. A true model has to go by what is. You see?
Yeah.
And we don't know what is. And that's the problem. All we can do is speculate. So beyond going to a model, if this is actually something that does occur, or if it's a cyclical pattern or whatever the case may be, we need to have more than just a model predicting what we think is happening. We have to be able to investigate it further. Now that's interesting. You can find out maybe a lot. But
what you do know about a globe is it has to be symmetrical. So equal distance. So in the north latitudes, you would have the same vegetation and animals that you would in Antarctica. But Antarctica, there aren't any animals or vegetation.
No.
And that proves that they're much further away from the equator than the North Pole is from the equator.
Right.
They're not equidistant. They're much further. It's much bigger. It's much further out.
Yep.
And that's why
that's an apple. And I was going to say,
Antarctica is the coldest place on Earth, not the North Pole.
Well,
but if it was a globe, it would be equal cold in the north and the south because it's
right now he's computing data.
No, but I'm just saying the globe.
It's an Apple computer.
Right, but the globe, when he says what we know about the globe is that a globe at the bottom, right? It's printed for decorative purposes only.
That's right. It's not for educational purposes because all the continents aren't even to the same scale. You got Greenland looking like large as North America, but we know, or is it Iceland? One of the two is shown on a globe to be much, much, much bigger.
Yeah.
I think it's Greenland.
Well, on a Mercator too, it looks really bad.
Right.
So that's the thing. We got to stop going. What is a map? A map is a graphic representation, supposedly, of the known Earth, drawn by someone else under tight constrictions and guidelines. Okay? So, do we really have any accurate maps? Because the whole goal of that and making sure that the maps are tightly controlled is to
I have a comment.
Knowing that the Earth is much bigger, like you were just getting onto. It's much bigger than we are told. Absolutely.
Well, I think that it depends on what a map is, right? Because it's like what you say about eclipses and how they can be projected, or when the next one's going to be, because there's like a map per se of like, let's just say like the zodiac or like the stars. You can consider that being a map.
Right.
In a certain extent, right?
They've got the Soros cycle. Okay, they know that where the eclipse is. It's a repeating pattern. The Babylonians had it already figured out, man. So it's like that's what they're going by.
So you wouldn't consider that a map? per se.
No. That, well, you know, not a navigational map. No.
Right, not a navigational map.
So what I'm trying to get at is that these people all the time, and this is one that I threw them for a loop with their fucking crying about maps and shit. They're like, well, it's this distance between, you know, New York and this place. You know, okay, it's this distance between Los Angeles and Perth, Australia, for instance. Okay. How did you verify that distance? Well, the speed of the aircraft, you know, and the distance that it works out for the amount of time that it takes them to make that route. And I'm like, great. So at what altitude are they flying? And they said, what difference does it make? And I says, well, because you're going to increase the distance every time you increase altitude. If you're on a globe, so the distance between Perth and Santiago is much greater at 35 or 40,000 feet than it is on the ground. That's the nature of concentric circles, right? So if you're calculating the ground distance and not including the air distance, then you're getting the wrong fucking time. You're going to be late, unless, of course, you're not actually going over making a concentric arc over the Earth, and instead you're following a parallel line. Of course, parallel lines could be equal in length. Concentric arcs can't. So I don't think any
I
of them
have a
ever
question about that. About the circle thing. It's like when they were showing that sun in Antarctica, right? Or they were claiming there's that 24-hour sun. See, when that sun was moving across the sky in that circle, like, were they considering that was coming from like the Earth's rotation, or is that circle coming from that wide circle that's supposedly going around the sun? Like in that aspect of what causes the sun to just go in a circle like that.
I don't know. We don't even know what the fucking sun is, for crying out loud. You know, and they're going to worry about what it does to try to reaffirm their fucking globe belief. That's about it. What's happening, New Civil Coalition? Porter, man. Porter in the house. No pun intended. Where'd he go? He just pops on and then fucking mutes and takes off. He said, okay, now I'm on the show. I'm going to go take a shit now. What's up, man? Well, you don't come back on soon, I'm just going to start signing out here. Because what are we doing? 2:12 boiling point right about now. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on the fucking meltdown of Witchy Poo? Dave?
That woman there? Or
yeah.
two?
No, the Witchy Poo, the woman.
Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen her. I couldn't believe
really? You don't. So you don't watch Coffee Enema? I mean, coffee Talk. It's called. I'm sorry.
Is that her show?
Yeah, she used to be on with. She used to be on with Mark Sargent on Strange World, and then she, I don't know, just stopped doing that. And Patricia Steers is now doing it.
Does she act like that on her show?
What's that?
Does she act that way on her show?
I don't know. I don't watch her fucking show. I don't like her.
Oh, okay.
So she was part of the Flat Earth Society?
What's that?
She was part of the Flat Earth Society?
Oh, I don't know. Why would you say
Well, that's what Mark Sargent was, or still is in some sense.
I don't know. You know, did I go to Jesuit college? I'm on a show with
No, I'm
Karen.
just saying maybe that's why she has that attitude, why she melts down like that.
I don't know, man.
Because she's from that train of thought of the Flat Earth Society.
She's definitely not able to keep her emotions intact. That's obvious. She lets that cloud her judiciousness, I can see. Absolutely. And that she not only does she let it happen to her, she wants others to be that way as well. By openly saying to reject logic, reject looking at the optics, reject all of the actual what would make you
come to a decision in lieu of your feelings based on your perception of someone that you know from the internet. Okay? That's what she was trying to do right there.
The bottom line is this. Whatever happens in the Northern Hemisphere year round has to happen exactly the same in the Southern Hemisphere in the opposite season. Because
there are no hemispheres.
Symmetrical.
Yep.
It's
there you go. And like you brought up with
over.
The flora and fauna is a problem too. So
yeah. And that just means it's because the Earth is flat and Antarctica is much further out in the ocean than equal distance from Capricorn to the equator. It's much further out. That's why Captain Cook took 65,000 miles and they claim it's only 13,000 miles. That's a huge discrepancy.
Well, that was another thing they said that they could do too, is take off in opposite directions around the coast of Antarctica.
That's right.
Circumnavigate it and see how long it takes.
Yeah, and that could be done in one fucking day. One fucking day.
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, if it was on a ball, it would. But because in reality it's flat, it would take it would take a long time to go around.
I don't know. I've never tried to circumnavigate anything like that before. I've gone around a small island in a lake in Michigan. That's about it. So that's about it. Well, guys, I'm going to shut it down. That's enough for tonight. I'm going to go in here and just relax for the rest of the evening. I want to thank everybody for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for popping in. I'm going to go through the.
You have a good one.
I'm going to go through the chat here real quick. Yeah, commercial sound and video. I concur. Let's go. Yeah. Okay. See, what do we got? Cripwreck, Sovereign Soul, and perhaps a song at some point. American Pie. I don't have my stuff hooked up right now, man. And I'm getting ready to get off here because I'm tired. And I got family here for Christmas and whatnot, too. So let's see. Give Crystal and a magnet, and she'll be happy for a minute or two, no doubt, right? But yeah, that fucking bullshit right there. And what really pissed me off, too, is that what's up? You just caught me as I'm getting off, man.
Are you getting off? Okay, I just
yeah. I tried to talk to you before and you wasn't there, and
it was something's going on. It wouldn't even let me log on. It got me where I couldn't even get on YouTube. It shut me down.
UFOs. It's the aliens.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, yeah, dude. I just think that if they wouldn't allowing them the Wi-Fi, why didn't he make a live video or make a video show and say, "Hey, look, this is what's going on."
Yeah, right. Well, maybe they did. But anything so far is behind a paywall. So
that's what I don't get either, dude. So I don't know. Anyway, I just wanted to say that.
Anyway, I'm done. I'm over it.
Yeah, bro.
Did you see the meltdown thing?
What?
Did you see? You didn't see the Karen meltdown?
Yeah, that was just.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something come out of that woman. Not natural, dude.
Dude, she's dark. She's a dark fucking human being.
I just don't know. I've been looking. I've got countless hours of looking at footage and blowing up images, putting it in.
Yeah.
And I think it was deliberately also. The green screen was so we would look deeper, and they painted stuff in just so we would squabble amongst ourselves, I believe. I think the Globers did that just to stir the pot, actually, from what I'm seeing. Now, what went on, I have no idea. We have no conclusive evidence from our side.
That's what I'm saying. It's like just like the football team analogy that I used, you know. It's like, okay, we send in our two players, man. It's the play. You're right at the line. You got one job. Get the fucking goal. That's all. And you're almost there. And then they do some kind of silly, dumb shit and pass it back and forth 3 or 4 times, fumble and get fucking tackled. And you're like, you were only a yard from the fucking line, dude. Did you do that on purpose? How did you fuck that up that bad? I mean, that's the way I'm looking at it, right? And I don't care if I know. Listen, I don't care if I know the player or not.
Yeah, that's it.
If you were the quarterback on that football team, Porter,
yep,
that did just what I just said, I would be asking you fucking questions. I would be telling you, dude, you fucked that up. What were you doing? Why did you pass that back and forth all those times? You were only like 2 yards from the line.
Right.
Why didn't you just go for it? What the fuck? That's why we sent you in there. And you just kind of go, oh, well, you know, and come up with some excuses and shit. And then I got to sit there and go, wait a second, man. Motherfucker's got a new Corvette too, man. Did you throw that game? You know, I mean, that's going to be my next thoughts. You know, I'm like looking to see if you got a new Rolex or some shit like that. You know, like, wait a minute, that's not you. I don't get that. What the fuck? That's not you.
I don't know. Time will tell. Hopefully, I mean, I can't assess anything behind that paper. I'm not doing it behind the paper. So.
Well, I'm going to continue on, and you know that's the thing. I think it was just ironic that the majority of my stuff that I talk about, I'm always warning people about the perception deception. Whether it comes to what they run on you in the news, what they run on you in a fucking documentary, whatever the case may be. Be careful of your perception of the presenter. Analyze the information. You know, there's a reason they picked a grandfatherly old gentleman like Walter Cronkite to deliver the news. Grandpa wouldn't lie to you, right? This shit is all by purpose, man. Why do you think they always, you know, the teachers are always somebody that the children will enjoy, right? That's something they look for. Oh, look, she's such a fun teacher and the kids love her. Dude, that's a prime place. They're gonna look at what I tell them and not even question it just because they like me so much. And I'm like, no. Can't operate that way.
Right.
You cannot operate that way. That's how they get us into wars, man.
I think it's just big. It's bigger than even cosmology.
Feelings. They start touching your feelings. Oh, they're chopping off babies' heads and shit. Fuck. You know, it's like, Anyway, I'm beating a dead horse. I'm gonna
you
get off.
have a Merry Christmas there, Sov.
You as well, Porter. You have a great time. Happy Kwanzaa.
Yeah.
Hanukkah, if that's still going on, whatever the fuck your group is. If you just like going and buying shit and giving it to people or whatever, you know, materialism, fucking ain't right, buddy. That's what we're after, some materialism. I'll show you how much I love you by giving you material things. Yeah, that's it. All right. You guys all take care. We'll see you next time on Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. And don't remember, the Lord loves a working man. Don't trust Whitey. See your doctor, get rid of him because he'll probably kill you. And if you heard the shot, it wasn't meant for you. We'll see you next time. Sovereign Soul Unchained Mind. Out.
Hey, how are you glow-tards doing? Just wanted to check in from how you were doing when you all learned about me, when you were just little wee little ones, and you were too stupid to question anything, and you know, just wanted to check in and make sure you still believed in me. You still believe in me, right? You better still believe in me. Because if you don't, I'm gonna call you names. Like, you still live in your mama's basement, and you better not breed. That's okay. I know you still believe in me.